Reports. Now, this week we ventured off to Hampshire to see how watercress is farmed and all the unusual products you can make with it. Take a look at this.
We're here on one of the Watercress Company's Dorset farms. We're in the mainstay of the UK season. We start off in late April till around early November, weather dependent. The main special element is the water. It's very, very high quality spring water. And where we are now is underneath is a confined aquifer. So it's a natural aquifer, and when it rains, the water permeates through the chalk into this large aquifer. And you'll have natural faults in the rock, and this is where the springs flow out into our bed. So it's high quality spring water. If you went back about 100 years ago, there'd be about 1,000 acres all around the country. But really now it's concentrated to the high quality areas of Dorset and Hampshire because of the spring water. This week, for example, we're doing about 40 tonnes of watercress, and no one eats more watercress than the British. We eat about 10 times that, the largest consumer next to us, which is the French, so we've got a real appetite for it. We're really excited because there's lots of other producers that are using watercress in completely different ways. So there's a gin producer in Hampshire, and one of the 10 botanicals, watercress is key, so he's using it fresh. There's a chocolate producer in Dorset who makes wonderful watercress chocolate, watercress ice cream. So traditionally bunches would have been pulled and sent to market, and they'd sell it in what was called a hand of watercress, so it's physically as much as you can get in your hand. People would literally just eat it like an ice cream cone, and then because they often had dirty hands for working in the factory, they'd then discard the stems. All we do now is just lift the blade, so we avoid these lower yellow leaves or thick stalks, and what we take just gives us 100% edible, high-quality watercress. This time of year is the natural flowering time for the plant. As the days get longer or the nights get shorter, it wants to go to flower. Once they get pollinated by the flying insects, they then give us little seed pods here. We then dry them out. There's a local beer producer at Cerne, Abbas, who makes a wonderful watercress beer from this. So we're going to deliver some over to Vic, and he can explain the process about how he uses it for his watercress beer. Hey Vic.
How do, James?
Got your watercress seed from here?
Oh, thank you, mate.
Half a kilo. We knew that other people had tried it with fresh, but it was a little bit too sort of vegetable-y. But Vic came up with the idea of using the seed because it's quite sharp, and we thought we can encapsulate that into beer. And it'd be nice to go back, because originally watercress was eaten and grown by the monks at Cerne Abbas, and we thought it would be nice to pair the sort of traditional watercress growing in the area with a nice drop of beer.
Looking backwards to go forwards, James.
Absolutely.
So, James, this is the mash tun. That's where the barley goes in, mixes up with the spring water.
Yep.
We then sparge it over the top, which washes all the sugars out into the copper. That's the one that comes up to the boil, and that's where we put the hop and the seed in.
Brilliant. Cheers.
Cheers, James.
You can definitely taste the watercress, but without being too vegetable-y. It's very clean, and you've got a sort of peppery bitterness to it.
Yeah, just after. It's just on the finish, isn't it? It's just.
I think the seed works really well.
I'll tell you what, after this morning, I'm really enjoying this. Nice chilled beer, actually. It's cooling me right off. What do you lot think?
It's
It's nice. It looks like a lager. It's got a real kind of bitter taste to it.
bit towards the word, eh? It's just
Hey?
too
Super
bit
bright.
for me.
Yeah, it is.
It's quite fresh.
Gets all